Hi there, I'm Ronnie and you are watching a video on my DSLRs and lenses. So let's get straight into that. So what prompted me to make this video was a lot of requests from my other YouTube channel here, mainly full drive and adventure based, and a few questions from this channel, which is quite new and fresh, from people asking which camera bodies and lenses I use for my time-lapse videos, which are on this channel. So check those out if you haven't already, link at the end of the video. So we'll get into all the camera bodies now, but before I get into this one, I started photography with point and shoots, and before that I was using my dad's old style film cameras, but this was my first, like the one I actually owned myself, my first camera body that had interchangeable lenses. So my first DSLR was the Canon 50D. This was a great camera to learn on. It's a crop sensor. Depending on the glass you put on it, you can get great shots with it. This camera here got me from automatic mode into manual mode. So I took the plunge there. You get more out of your camera if you use manual mode. And then I upgraded to the Canon 5D Mark IIIs. Awesome camera, awesome low light. The speed on it is fast. I love every bit of this camera body. I got my first one shortly after they first came out, within the first year, and then I got the second camera body later on because they're pretty expensive. I couldn't afford two at the same time, and I only wanted one at a time. So what prompted me to buy a second one was because a lot of the times when I'm out in the field, I don't want to be changing the lenses because of dust, mud, sea spray, all that. Because if I damage or get dirt in my sensor out there, then I'm not going to get repaired till I get back, and I might be out there for 8 days to 2 weeks, or maybe even longer. So I've got two camera bodies. So I'll run you through the lenses. Note that on these four lenses here, they have a red ring on them, and that's because they are the Canon L lens. So this is the best glass, or some of the best glass you can get for the Canon range cameras. And I'll start with the 24 to 70. This was the first lens I got for the 5D Mark III. It goes from wide, like relatively quite wide, to 70 mil. Most people would use a prime lens of around 50 mil for maybe portraits and stuff like that. But with this lens here, I can do from my landscape photography all the way to my portraits and weddings and stuff like that. So this gets used for pretty much all that. So if I can only bring one camera body, like only one of these, or I can only fit one of those in my bag, this is the lens that comes with me. Great lens, aperture range of, well, it's capable of 2.8, so it's pretty fast and it's great in low light. Then we'll move to my quite wide lens. This is a Canon 16 to 35 mil wide lens, L lens again. This is great for landscape photography. I wouldn't use it for portraits or weddings though, because it distorts, like objects and people. So you don't want to distort someone's face or body if you're doing portraits, because it's not good. And then we move on to the big Canon here, 70 to 300 mil, another L lens. Great telescopic lens, quite fast. Decent in low light. I mean, the f-stop is 4 at 70 mil, and when you go out to 300 mil zoom, or zooming in to 300 mil, then it goes up to 5.6. So the f-stop is still pretty decent on it. Great lens. This is probably my favorite lens. Get great shots. I use this for portraits, weddings, because I can get right in there. And when I go on my adventures, I'll use this because you get some incredible shots of vehicles in a distance on a hill, landscape shots. You get some really cool shots with this. Plus wildlife as well, birds. Really fast at actually tracking birds and shooting them with this. Great. So that's pretty much, oh, I forgot about this one. This is my macro lens, 100 mil. Rarely take it out with me. It's more like a lens I'll use if I want to do something a bit, some arty stuff, or if I'm taking photo of stock or something really small that I need detail of. So that is pretty much all the lenses and the camera bodies covered. I will do a video on my field gear. So that is my bag that comes, with all the lenses, filters, and everything for my 5D Mark IIIs. And there'll be some other videos as well I'll throw up at some point, perhaps even a few tips about them. But if you want a review on the camera, you can request it below. If you've got any questions at all, in the comments below. Do check out my other channel if you haven't already. You can subscribe over here somewhere. And thank you very much for watching. See you in another video.